end of last week, I did an interview by Skype with Helge Rognstad, who was in Norway, and their new album from the Fluffy Jackets. Helge is the guitar player and the singer with the Fluffy Jackets. Their new album, The Rise and Fall of the Songwriter, was released yesterday. And if you go along to their website, you can actually download it for free. It was quite a long interview that I did with Helge. We talked for roughly 3 hours, and I've edited down into 3 different categories. We talked about the new album, and that's the bit that I'm going to be playing you next. We also talked an awful lot about Manny Charlton, the guitar player from Nazareth, because over the last decade or so, Helge has worked closely with Manny on Manny's stuff and also on his own material. Manny played and produced the Fluffy Jackets albums. And there were a lot of stories and a lot of things. Now, that is quite long, and that will be coming up in due course. And we also did a little segment about some of Helge's songs that have influenced him over the years to get him to where he is now. And it's kind of a nice little segment with some interesting tracks he chose. Once again, that's another one of these things that I'll be playing over the coming weeks. So this bit, what we actually did was I asked Helge to choose 5 tracks from the new album to talk about, and they will be played in the course of this. So that's it. This is what this segment is about. So sit back and enjoy this. Helge Rognstad of the Fluffy Jackets talking about his new album, The Rise and Fall of the Songwriter.
We started actually just around the pandemic, when that started, just before that. And I had in my mind to build my own studio.
Yeah.
Because I recorded at some amazing studios over time, obviously, but then through sort of my journey into music, I thought you have to have your own studio to work on music. It's sort of a dream of mine.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and then I was sort of stuck with building that studio, and I did that all myself, and I got the equipment and build it up and all that stuff, and then we started to sort of write songs and sort of record songs just as a test kind of thing. But I always knew that this new album will be very different to the ones before, because in the ones before we kind of did the old school way of getting people into the same studio and record together, and we play together, and then we obviously spend time on mixing it. Yeah. But this one is the first Fluffy Jackets album that we've done by sort of remote people, sort of working remotely with each other. So right. In one way, it's much more free, because you don't have to be on at that given day. You can sort of, I don't feel like singing today, you can wait till tomorrow,
Yeah.
Or if you don't, you can mix in that bass next week if you like, things like that. So it's sort of it's a bit more freer, but and the good thing about it also is, like, I didn't have a sort of time pressure on it. Obviously, for good and bad things, if you go to a professional studio, then you have to pay that studio per hour.
Yes, and time is money.
It's exactly, and at home, although time is money here as well, it's more
it's more flexible, though, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So and I think the songs reflects on that, like it's I have more time to construct the songs, more time to write the songs, come back to them and sort of adapt them and change them as I go along.
Yeah. I actually listened to it again this morning. You selected 5 tracks to talk about, and we're going to play them. So if you could just tell me a little bit about each of the tracks.
Yeah.
The first one on your list here is Waterloo Bridge.
Yes, I wrote that fairly quickly. It's sort of a story, sort of about sort of love lost kind of thing, and I wrote the song. I did really like the sentiment of the song, but the music never made sense. I couldn't get it to work, So I sort of left it, and I came back to it one day. It's like, okay, I'm going to do everything from scratch here, and I came up with a whole new melody. It's something about let the song fester for a while, and then the lyrics will sort of inspire a different performance. So that's what happened with this, and I ended up. I really, really like it. You know, it's sort of a popish song, and it's about London. It takes me back a bit to music by the Kinks.
I was going to say, is there any Kinks related thing with that?
Yeah, actually, it is in the lyrics as well. Like, you know, one of the lines goes, "It was Turner," you know, like the Kinks and me looking at sort of Waterloo. You know, we're standing on Waterloo and looking at the sun. You know.
Yeah.
So Waterloo sunsets. That's a clear reference to that. But I think also the song, maybe for that reason, has that sort of little 60s inspired vibe to it.
Yeah, it does have a very 60s kind of feel to it. I really like that track. Yeah, there's definitely some Kinksy kind of influence going on here.
We recorded a music video as well for that song. We were actually on the bridge and recorded there with the guitars and everything.
Walking across Waterloo Bridge, looking at the sun. It was Turner, the Kings, and me. We had this moment down. Now that I'm looking back, I can see you there. With the wind and your smile and your hair, all I do is stare.